I'm talking about blue eyes, blue eyes. What's the matter, matter, blue eyes, blue eyes. What's the matter, matter, so blind, so blind. What's the matter, matter, blue eyes, blue eyes. What's the matter with you? So, hi. I'm here again. I'm here again. I think I'm just never really gonna quite leave this medium of journaling. I will just continue to use it because it's very useful for me to hinder myself in life, looking back at all the nostalgic moments and looks that I used to have. I love looking at my old, like, 19-year-old videos. I'm just like, what am I wearing? What am I doing? It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst look, but I definitely think that I actually enjoy the looks that I choose now. Weight isn't a thing that I talk about, really, because oddly enough, it holds a lot of weight. I never really thought one way or the other about it, you know, in regards to other people, but I knew that I myself was never happy being bigger. And I was big, you know, my entire freaking life. Just, I think I got kind of to like a normal weight sometime after high school, but I'll be honest, I just skipped lunches and I was a lot more active back then too. It was like bike riding and like walking around, but I just like had this notion in my head that I was always like huge, and in my head, like growing up, I was always like exactly the same weight, which was always fat. And this was all obviously perpetuated by my family, some of my friends, and you know, just the dumb freaking boys I went to high school with. It's weird to like have these things kind of like follow you around forever. So basically, mainly by my family, I had been told like I need to lose weight, otherwise no one's gonna love me. That's something that happened, and I didn't appreciate that for obvious reasons. But somewhere in the back of my head, I was like, I mean, they're probably right. Like, I thought I have like a pretty good personality, but the truth of it is no one is gonna want to be with me if I'm a walrus, you know? And I actually called myself a walrus for a long time. It was a joke that I had with myself and just everyone around, because if you know, like admitted to being fat and ugly, then, you know, no one could pick on you for it. And oh, that sucks, because I look back at my older pictures and I don't ever think that I looked bad, you know? I think I was always like aspiring to like better fashion and better makeup choices, and you know, that's kind of just like comes with the territory of growing up, you know? You go through all these changes. But the weight thing was always on my mind. Two things. When I was with my ex, can call him that? When I was with him, I had this like overarching fear of like the real reason he doesn't want to be my boyfriend is because I'm fat. And I told myself this all the time. And I stayed with him for a number of reasons, but we weren't officially together ever because he never wanted to be. And like I said, I told myself it was because I wasn't pretty enough for him. And I think maybe just now, I think, you know, he had whatever going on in his life and perhaps continues to have this going on in his life. But I brought it up with him a few times, like worried about my weight, and he was like, I don't care about that. But then one day he told me that he thought that my friend was really attractive, but she would be so much more attractive if she had lost weight, and she was not a big girl like I was, you know? And so I just remember after he told me that, I think he was dropping me off at work, I like ran into the museum and went crying for hours. Like I cried basically my whole shift because he had said this thing about my friend, and I felt like if he thinks that about her, then what the hell does he think about me? And I hate that this was even a thing. And I told my friends a lot about him, and I never told them about that comment because I didn't want them to hate him, you know? Like, ooh, words and weight and words. Words have weight, things like that. And then the other thing was, my mom told me, we were driving, I was always in a car, we were driving somewhere, and she was like, you know, if you don't lose weight, he's gonna leave you. And in my head I was like, I'm leaving him. Like, she didn't know my plan was to leave in May regardless of like what happened. I knew I had to leave, and I was like, he doesn't care about my weight. And she's like, well, regardless, you know, like, you're unhealthy and you're gonna die, basically. So those are the two things. You're not pretty enough and you're gonna die. And definitely I've had some, you know, issues with health, a lot of them revolving around weight. Like, my knees are all kind of fucked up. I couldn't run for shit. Just breathing. That was the thing, like walking upstairs and stuff, scared of like diabetes or all the things that come with health and whatever. So I started getting into dieting. Ooh, something that I've like tried on and off, but like finally it stuck because I started doing Diet Bet, which was really great for me because I'm hella motivated by money. And now I feel like I'm at a place where I just feel very normal. But as I was making this transition from super fat girl into normalhood, I've reached like the normal on the BMI chart, which I hear is bullshit anyways, but you know, that was like what I was aiming for. I was so tired of people telling me that like I had to do this thing, and then I went and did it. I was the person who went and did it. I wasn't like, I'm gonna be confident in who I am and like how I feel. The thing is, I was told for so long that I wasn't, and so I changed it. And it's really a double-edged sword when I would talk about it, because it's kind of like, wow, you look so great, and I was like, oh, this is just like validation to let me know that I really didn't look great before. But a lot of close friends of mine have come forward and said that like, you've always looked great, but like you seem more confident now and happy and healthy and blah 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 blah. And I appreciate that because that is how I feel. It sucks that it's these are the reasons I feel this way, and especially living in Japan, wanting to literally fit into society. You know, it's all something, right? But I've had a little bit of a thing with like being in between like the whole diet culture thing and the whole body positivity movement, and like I feel like I don't have a voice anymore. And even when I had a voice, I didn't use it. I was here on like the fat spectrum, but I hated how I looked. So how could I then tell others that like that I believed in body positivity, even when I do? But when it came to myself, I could not look in the mirror and like truthfully say I loved myself. I just couldn't do it. And even now I have kind of a hard time doing it, but it's a lot easier for me to like look at myself after I've gone shopping and being like, I look so cute and I love what I bought. Whereas before I would just buy what fit me. And perhaps if like it was easier to access clothes that were bigger and like, you know, cute, not like fucking grandma clothes, or like things that weren't like so expensive as an XXL, then maybe I would have felt okay about myself. But the truth of the matter is none of that happened, and I didn't. And now I'm over here, like I was proud of like what I was doing, but then talking about it feels kind of taboo now, you know? And I don't know what to do. And I feel like I don't have a voice, and I've been kind of like really struggling with it since New Year's, because a friend came up to me and told me that they were uncomfortable with my weight loss posts. So like, what do? Do you use your voice at all? I'm afraid that if I say anything ever about body positivity, people are just gonna look at me and go, well, you're only saying that now because you're not, you know, buying XXL clothes anymore. And it's true. So like, am I a fraud? You know? It's just hard because I can look at other girls and just think, wow, like they look so good. I wish I had that confidence when I was that size to like share that love. And I don't know, I feel like it's only like more recently that body positivity has really come into my feed, like really like just exploded, you know, and I'm on the other end now. And of course I can talk about my own personal journey and body positivity currently, but I had to like work to get to a point where I felt comfortable talking about that. So what do you do? You know, I don't know what to do, and I don't want to like step on anyone's toes, but at the same time, I'm feeling real weird about the whole thing because I've lost my stance. Am I a hypocrite? Call the fraud police. This girl doesn't know who she is. Anyways, that was a long rant about weight and stuff, and I don't know the answer. That's the skinny of it. But it's true. I don't know the answer. I don't know what to do. Like in no way do I feel like skinny. But I also don't feel fat anymore. I've like reached a point where I just feel very, very normal. And I feel like no one, you know, I was like working in schools and the kids would always ask me how much I weighed and like would always tell me I had huge boobs, and it's just like, it was always uncomfortable to have that like extra bit of attention on me, especially in Japan, you know, where I already stand out and people already stare at me. So I just wanted to like fit in. So someone asked me if they thought I've changed since I've come to Japan, and I think fitting in has been like a big thing. I just like really don't want to stand out too much. I'm just very the opposite of America, I'd assume. Like maybe I didn't want to stand out there either. Like stand out enough so that people think you're like cooler than the average person, but like really kind of just fit in so that you're not like the weird person that everyone's staring at, which is just my day-to-day life here. So I'm gonna go. This is a just huge long video, so there it is.